Okay, so you have a podcast, or maybe you want to start one. Don't do it. It's too hard. Do you want to make money from your podcast, or do you want to make money because of your podcast?
Wait, is there a difference?
Yes, there is, and I'm going to explain in a second. I also have 3 fascinating case studies of real podcasts and podcasters, and be warned, they're a little bit controversial. But by the end of this video, you'll have a much better perspective about podcast monetization. So ready to get some myths busted?
All right, let's go.
Myth number 1. You can earn a full-time living selling ads on your podcast as long as you build up a large enough audience. Not entirely true. You see, podcasting by itself is not a business model. Podcasting, like blogging, at its core is an audience building platform, aka content marketing tool. Just like it is ridiculously hard to create a full-time living with a blog that only generates income via ads alone, creating a podcast with the intention of making money solely via sponsorships is just as hard, probably way harder. Even the big name podcasters who may have inspired you to start your own podcast don't make money just with sponsorship alone. They sell books, digital products, online courses, physical products, coaching, consulting, in-person seminars, and on and on and on. Let's take a very popular podcaster. I'll tell you his name in a second. But in September 2017, his business earned a total of $220,158.54. Yeah, I know. At first glance, you might think, wow, a podcaster making $220K from sponsors. That's awesome. Guess how much of that income was from sponsors? Just a meager $3,771.20. Think about that for a second. A daily podcast 5 times a week, except for the weekends, about 20 episodes a month, tens of thousands of downloads per episode. Yet, only 1.7% of his business income was from sponsors. Now comes the interesting part. Guess where the majority of his income came from? Yep, online courses and product sales. Gross income, $220,150.54. Power Up Podcasting, $139,462. Affiliate earnings, $51,877.40. Software and apps, $16,645.91. Book sales, $3,974.63. Niche sites, $4,427. Podcast sponsorships, $3,771.20. Donations, $0. I'm willing to bet serious money that even the affiliate earnings are not all from just mentions on his shows either. I'm going to take an educated guess that he has built a massive email list, and he also has a massive blog with tons of free training and highly useful articles, a lot of lead magnets generating list signups, all geared towards his target audience. And he promotes a lot of affiliate products from his blog, niche sites, his email lists, both free lists and customer lists, webinars, joint ventures, and so on. If you haven't already guessed by now, the podcaster is Pat Flynn, and his show is the Smart Passive Income Podcast. I don't know Pat personally, and Pat has not endorsed this course. Now that my lawyers are happy, I'm using Pat Flynn's example because he is very popular among podcasters and entrepreneurs, so there's a high probability you've heard of his name. He has a top-rated podcast, and he's one of the more successful people who has built a business behind his podcast. And most importantly, he publishes his income reports publicly on his website every month. So I was able to take those numbers and give you an example of how even a top podcaster does not make all of his income just from sponsors alone. So wanting to make a substantial income from sponsorship is not a realistic goal for most podcasters. It's possible, but not probable for most people, and that includes me. Because of my podcast, here's how much I have earned in the last just over 2 years. Revenue from sponsors, $760. Revenue from affiliate commissions, $2,200. Revenue from sales, $21,000. Revenue from coaching clients, $15,000. Total of $38,960. Projected recurring revenue over the next 3 years, at least $100,000. Now I'm being extremely conservative there because a lot of these are towards my products and subscription-based products. So I'm going to take a conservative guess and say that some people will stay and they will bring more people. Some people will leave. And if you see, The revenue from sponsors, the $760, that's only from sponsors on the first 2 episodes of my show. And after that, I have never taken on sponsors, and I have never wanted sponsors because I can make so much more money by promoting my own products and services. Would you rather build your own business or somebody else's business? Would you rather build your own list or help build somebody else's list? If your show is a good fit for advertisers and your audience might buy those products or services that you promote, why not sell your own products or services and keep 100% of the profits and own the relationship with the customer rather than take a tiny one-time payment from a sponsor so you can help build their business? I made up 2 words to describe this, and you have probably heard this on my podcast at subscribeme.fm. Dog poo and dosa. Dog poo stands for do once, get paid only once. Dosa stands for do once, sell again and again. Everything I teach on my podcast and in my courses is based on this premise. Focus on what you can do once, but sell again and again. If you are a freelancer or do any kind of work for hire, you're eating dog poo. You do once, get paid only once. If you get a new client, you cannot use the work from your previous client. You start all over again. And if you promote an affiliate link or promote a sponsored ad via an ad read on your podcast, you're basically sending traffic to somebody else's website. The vendor gets to cookie them for retargeting. They get to convert them into a customer. They get to ask for the visitor's email ID by offering a lead magnet. They get to keep most of the profits. So why not do that yourself? Why not be your own sponsor? Why not promote your own products and services? If you promote an ad on a podcast, you get paid just once. Dog poo. You did that episode once, you got paid once. That's it. You're never getting paid another dime more for that podcast. That's already gone. Sure, the advertiser might want to sponsor another episode, but still, you cannot get paid for what was already done. That is dog poo. Do once, get paid only once. But if you promote your own products and services, you get a customer now, and you could keep selling that customer one-time products and recurring subscription-based products over and over again for a long time to come. Now that is the perfect example of dosa. Do once, sell again and again. Every product or service you create is an asset for life, and every customer you convert is also an asset for life. Now let me bust myth number 2. If you have a large enough audience, then you can earn a great income using donations from your listeners. Again, possible but not probable for most podcasters. Let me first play you a clip from a famous podcast.
Only 0.72% of the people who listen actually give money. Actually raise their hand and say, I'm in. 0.72. We're not even at one whole cookie. So that's what I want to change right now. My challenge to you guys listening is, can we get this to 1%? Just 1%. What that means is $8 a month. $8 a month. That amount will keep this thing that we're all a part of healthy and growing. Like, are you in? Are you down? I'm talking to you listening right now. Are you in? If you are, go to radiolab.org/donate or text the word give to the number 70101.
So let that sink in a little bit. A rabid fan base of 1.6 million listeners, 57 million annual streaming sessions, 7.7 million annual YouTube views, 5.5 million weekly listeners on 4 nationally broadcast programs. Now remember, they also have the backing and the momentum of their radio programs, which actually are broadcast on terrestrial radio, like regular radio. And they can't even get 1% of their listeners to donate. You know why? Because the donation model sucks. You are literally at the mercy of your audience. You can actually hear the absolute pleading tone, almost a begging tone in the announcer's voice in that clip. Please, can we get it to at least 1%? Please help us. Yeah, that's the kind of model that makes me uncomfortable. Because I would rather come from a place of authority and subject matter expert and say, okay, here's this product I have created, or here's the service I'm offering. this is a great product or great service, and here's how it's going to help you. Here's what this stuff is worth. Here's how my knowledge and expertise and experience can help you. And I have packaged it all into this beautiful online course or membership site. And when you buy it, you will get this benefit and that benefit, and you'll save time, money, energy, or you'll be entertained, and so on. This is purely from a business perspective, a long-term profitable online business that I can count on to fund my lifestyle, to fund my retirement, to fund my children's education, and so on. And I've been seeing more and more results of those who are accepting donations. And you could say that a very tiny sliver of a percentage of people can actually get people to donate to make it something worth their while and something that can help them make a living out of it. The remaining majority gets close to nothing. And I'm reading over and over again that the average creator gets contributions from less than 1% of their audience, something you saw that Radiolab is also experiencing. But guess what? 1% of 5 million listeners is 50,000 listeners. And if each person donates $8 a month, like they were asking for at the end of the clip, that's $400,000 a month. That's a lot of money for them because their audience is so massive. Libsyn.com, one of the biggest podcast hosts in the industry, reported these stats on one of their recent podcast episodes from their podcast, The Feed.
If your episode is getting over 194 downloads after 30 days, you are better than half the shows out there. If you are getting over 1,700 or more downloads, you're better than 80% of the shows out there. More than 5,000, you're better than 90%. More than 13,000, better than 95. More than 35,000, better than 98. And better than 70,000, you're better than 99% of the shows.
So, just to summarize, 50% of all podcasts get less than 194 downloads. 80% of podcasts get less than 1,700. And 90% get less than 5,000. And 5,000 is usually the minimum downloads that ad services like Midroll look for before they will even accept you into their network. Sure, you can work directly with some potential sponsors and you spend a lot of time marketing it and talking to people and sending out pitches and stuff. Even then, it's going to be incredibly hard because you also have to have a show in a niche where the audience is actually monetizable. So if I'm your advertiser and I'm selling a product and your show is about how to get out of debt and escape bankruptcy, then your audience is probably not the type who can afford to spend much money buying stuff, let alone buy stuff mentioned on a podcast, which they may or may not even remember between the time they heard it, like say they were out on a run or they were driving to work, and they get home and in front of a computer a few hours later. So not all topics and certainly not all audiences are the same when it comes to attracting advertisers. Don't forget, the smaller your numbers are, the smaller the amount you'll take home. So Radiolab, with its millions of listeners, can afford to have just 1% of their listeners donate, because even that 1% of a massive audience can be a huge number. But that certainly won't work for you or me or most podcasters, especially if we have just hundreds or maybe a few thousand listeners. So unless you're in the top 10% of all podcasts, which is like 500,000 podcasts in the iTunes directory, and you get well over the minimum 5,000 downloads per episode, the goal of earning a substantial income through your podcast using just sponsors is just not a realistic goal. But consider this. If you sell an online course for, say, $99, and you can get just 1,000 people to buy it, now you have made $99,000. You didn't need 50,000 people, you didn't need 10,000 downloads, not even 5,000, just 1,000 buyers. And then, if you can turn that into a recurring subscription product that costs the same $99 a year, then those same 1,000 members will start earning you $100,000 year after year after year. Now sure, some will cancel and leave, and of course I'm way oversimplifying the process. It's not as simple as multiplying 99 times 100, and there's a lot more that goes into building a recurring subscription business, but you get the point. There's simply no better way to make more money with your 1,000 true fans than selling them products and services. You've got to be able to build a business behind your podcast from day one. You can't just sit around waiting to build a large enough audience so that maybe one day you might make money selling ads. You've got to build an audience and a community and sell them stuff. Now, what that quote unquote stuff is exactly what I cover in this online course. All you need is 1,000 true fans. And podcasting is the best way to find those 1,000 true fans. You don't need tens of thousands of downloads. This has become such a burning topic as more podcasters launch their shows that I have spent over 200 hours creating this online course, which is called Premium Podcasting: How to Create, Deliver, and Monetize Premium Audio Content at premiumpodcasting.com. We have seen the what and the why. Now let's look at the how. How to create, deliver, and monetize an audio course or premium audio content and deliver it in 4 formats. 1. Using an audio player. 2. Downloadable MP3 links. 3. As a premium podcast. And 4. Within a mobile app. This course is about showing you the possibilities of audio. This course is about what you can do with your audio content, how to monetize it, or packaging it as a paid online course, or as a bonus for your other content, or how to use it as a lead magnet to build your email list, how to package it as a bonus for your patrons who support your podcast. The opportunities are endless. And this course is about how to deliver it to your audience in multiple formats and platforms. You can embed an audio player and publish it on a page in the members area where they can click play and listen to your episodes or modules right from the page itself without having to download anything. This course teaches you how to create downloadable links to your MP3 files so that they can download it to their favorite device and listen to it offline. This course teaches you how to create one big playlist of your entire audio course, which they can easily click from episode to episode from the same page. Or you can also deliver it as a premium podcast that they can add to their favorite podcast app, like the iTunes podcast app or Overcast, which is my favorite podcast app, or say Podcast Addict or whatever app they're using on their mobile device on whatever platform, iOS, Android, Windows, etc. Who is premium podcasting for? It is perfectly tailor-made for you if you want your podcast to be more than just a hobby. You wish to grow it into a money-making business that can help you maybe quit your job, pay for your living, maybe even pay for vacations and retirement. You know that probably less than 1% of podcasters will make a full-time living from ads and sponsors. So you want to take it to the next level by creating and charging for premium content for your audience. You wish to create a consistent, recurring, passive revenue stream that will earn you more than just chump change and pay for more than just coffee and hosting. You are an entrepreneur at heart. Your show is not just for fun. Of course, you want to have fun, but you also want it to grow to be much bigger than a hobby. You have a lot of knowledge, experience, and expertise that you can share. You want to be able to grow a large audience and monetize their attention with products. You know building a business is not easy. It's a lot of hard work, especially if you already have a full-time job, a significant other, kids, and even a pet. You don't want to depend on a few generous patrons to provide a few dollars on the side. It may be a side hustle right now, but you want to turn this into a full-time career eventually. You want to build something that you can control. You want to build a long-term profitable online business that can scale, is repeatable, is consistent, and provides passive and reliable income for years to come, none of which is possible with donations or sponsors. You are not okay with it making just a few bucks. You want more. Not because you're greedy, but if you want to do this all day, every day, then your podcast has to be able to generate enough income by fueling your back-end business to pay your bills. You don't want to just survive. You want to thrive. And most importantly, this is for you if you want to get to your 1,000 true fans who are interested in your topic, your niche, your expertise, and then you want to sell them training, physical products, online courses, seminars, done-for-you services, webinars, meetups, coaching, consulting, and community. You want to create a place for them to get together, exchange ideas, create change, create your tribe, as Seth Godin says, and be the leader of your tribe. Exclude everybody else. Just create for your tribe. Create an inner circle, an insider group, and they will follow you wherever you lead them. There is unlimited, unprecedented opportunity in podcasting today. All that remains is for you to make a decision. Are you content with making some pocket change on the side from your hobby? Or do you want to lay the foundation and sow the seeds to build a long-term profitable online business that will bear fruit for years to come? Ripping off straight from the movie The Matrix, you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and continue believing whatever you want to believe, that you will one day make a lot of money from ads and affiliate links. Or you take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes, how deep a funnel you can build when you build a business behind your podcast.